Now, I'm really delighted to welcome to the stage Anisa Khan, who was the runner-up to the Apprentice this year. I'm sure you'll all recognise her and followed her journey. So she has agreed to share some of those stories and her journey into entrepreneurship and on the TV programme with us. So please welcome her up here. First of all, tell us a little bit about your journey and why you decided to apply for the Apprentice in the first place and what that application process and getting on board looked like.
Yeah, so I've been a big fan of the Apprentice since I was 7 years old. I've watched every single season and I knew that one day I'd want to be a part of the show. And I started my business, Bombay Pizza, a few years ago during the pandemic. You know, at that time, takeaway sales were rising and I wanted a nice reaction. So I launched a pizza business back then. But the pizza business initially was just meant to be a side hustle. I didn't think I could do it full time. And then the business started to grow and I realized if I want to really grow out the business, I'll need some level of investment. So that's when I thought it's a perfect time to go and apply for the Apprentice. And luckily I got in straight away. There was 16 rounds of audition, so it was a very grueling process. There were 80,000 applicants. And fortunately they chose me to be the show.
16 rounds. Did they keep on asking different things or was it much the same? How did that kind of work?
It's actually really interesting. So the interviews for the first day is in a very big building with many floors, and the first round is the first floor, and they ask you a simple question like, why should we launch a business partner? You have 1 minute, go. So they're very on the spot, and if you do well you go up the building. So I knew I was doing well because I got to the top by the end of the day. And then the last round of the first day, I was actually the last person to be interviewed, and the producer apologized to me because it was actually midnight by the time they interviewed me.
And what time did you arrive?
11 a.m.
Wow.
So I was here all day, and then she was just like, oh, I'm so sorry, we made you wait so long, you're our last person. And then I just responded by saying, don't worry, you saved the best for last, let's go. And then she said she was impressed by that, and then I had 2 more days of interviews and finally got in.
So they needed to see that you could think on your feet, you could already cope with that pressure of being there all day. Tell us a little bit about the journey while you're on the TV programme, because it's so carefully edited, there's lots we don't see. What kind of stood out for you along that journey? What were the best bits?
Yeah, I think for me, my mindset going into the process was always to get to the final, and I wanted to impress straight away. So that's why the first task I went for project manager, because I know when there's 18 contestants, it's very easy to hide, but I wanted Lord Sugar to know that I'm not someone who hides. So I went for project manager straight away, and then I'm the first person to also go to project manager the second week again, because my team unfortunately lost the first week, and so the second week I wanted to prove that I could win. So my mindset was very strong throughout, and I learned a lot through the journey.
Were there any bits, the way it was edited, that you think that wasn't really reflective of your journey?
So many. I would say this, so in terms of filming, we film 100 hours per episode and you watch 1 hour, so you see 1% of what happened. But I think for me, I was happy with my edit because I was shown a lot. But then a big reason I was shown a lot is because my team kept losing, which is not great, but it meant that I was in the final boardroom a lot and you got to see a part of my journey. The only episode that I was shocked by was, I don't know if you guys watched the series, but episode 2, we had to make a virtual pop star and we had to make a singer, and that whole episode they cut everything up, so it made it look like I wanted to copy Taylor Swift. And I think that's the episode I looked crazy, but it was okay because my team won, so it was worth it.
And we know you're not. So tell us a bit about what you learned, what you took away from that whole experience.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I learned from the process was definitely around resilience and going forward. As I mentioned, there's 10 weeks of tasks and my team lost 8 out of 10. So that's a lot of losses to have. But I think anyone who's done business and is an entrepreneur, you know that there's always going to be problems, but it's more so how you come back from that. And I think what I learned from the process is to keep resilient, keep having the same tenacious nature. Because even when my team lost, I still went for PM the next task. I still put myself out there. I never hid, even despite things going wrong.
Yeah, and that's so important, isn't it? The ability to push through, resilience, keep on going, and put yourself out there, because it made you stand out, be noticed, and get through to the final. Congratulations. That was really interesting.